Mueller prosecutors, Trump did obstruct justice.
Here's a summary of the article.
Prosecutors working for special counsel Robert Mueller concluded last year that they had sufficient evidence to seek criminal charges against President Donald Trump for obstruction of justice over the president's alleged pressuring of then FBI Director James Comey in February 2017 to shut down an FBI investigation of the president's then National Security Advisor, Michael Flynn. Given the Justice Department's long-standing doctrine that a president cannot face criminal indictment while in office, Mueller suggested in his report that Congress could still act. The special counsel made more than 20 references in his report to Congress's impeachment power. In his report, Mueller described how his office had investigated 11 separate instances in which the president might have obstructed justice. Central to the defense strategy devised by the president's legal team was a constant assertion that Trump could not have obstructed justice because the president did not know that Flynn was under investigation by the FBI when Trump allegedly pressured Comey to drop the matter. The special counsel wrote in his final report, to establish a nexus to a proceeding, it would be necessary to show that the president could easily foresee and actually contemplated that the investigation of Flynn was likely to lead to a grand jury investigation or prosecution. It was hardly surprising that the president's attorneys consistently argued that President Trump did not know this, and that they made this assertion central to their defense of the president. Mueller likely assumed that non-political career prosecutors in the Justice Department would examine the evidence his investigation had uncovered in order to determine whether to seek criminal charges against Donald Trump after the president's term in office was over. The Attorney General acted peremptorily, in violation of the spirit of the Special Counsel statute, in declaring that President Trump did not obstruct justice.
This post received a score of 36,807, with an upvote ratio of 74%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
This demonstrates why Trump is so desperate to win in 2020. If he doesn't, he is going to spend the rest of his life in court and possibly prison. You can bet he is conspiring with Putin even now on how to cheat the election process again.
This is the same thing that happened with Julius Caesar, incidentally. And that all worked out great.
So did Barr, by falsely restating the conclusions of investigators. Anyone know why Barr wasn't prosecuted for lying to Congress for his last special report summary? After the actual text was released a few years later, it was clear Barr had flat-out lied to Congress. I was really surprised that wasn't brought up. Especially given the GOP hard-on for past lying to Congress during Cohen's testimony.
Barr decides if it's obstruction, so technically Barr can't lie about if he obstructed or not. It makes me sick that our checks and balances are not independent. Congress absolutely has the power to remove Barr from office. Congress can impeach any civil officer. While that term isn't explicitly defined, they have impeached 2 presidents, 1 senator, 1 cabinet official, and 15 federal judges in the past. Based on this history, attorneys general would likely meet the spirit of the impeachment eligibility requirements.
Congress thus far has demonstrated an absolute unwillingness to hold anyone in the Trump administration accountable for anything.
Agreed. I'm simply saying the possibility exists, the balance of powers were set up correctly. Whether this self-neutered Congress chooses to exercise their powers is irrelevant to the comment I was responding to.
Then do your fucking job and prosecute.
A sitting president must be impeached to be prosecuted. It is outside of Mueller's prosecutors' given powers. Spelling.
That policy is literally just a memo from the Watergate era. Barr would probably try to use it as an excuse to fire someone who served an indictment, but it's not some impossible legal barrier.
That doesn't matter. It was DOJ policy that a sitting president can't be prosecuted. Mueller works for the DOJ. He followed the highest standard in his report and did not bring charges against Trump. He outright states that the report is not bringing charges of obstruction because of the policies in place. He then strongly urges Congress to review his report and use the system of checks and balances in place.
Greater than it was DOJ policy that a sitting president can't be prosecuted. Do you or anyone know why this is the case? I would love to hear the reasoning for it.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.